You can use Stash to archive your research data as well as publish it if appropriate. In this video, we will show you how to create a data record in Stash, create a data publication in Stash. At UTS, researchers should archive their data in the university's Research Data Management Platform, Stash. To get started, go to Stash and select Create Archival Data Record in the Manage Data module on the dashboard. A data record has 5 sections: why, what, who, when, and where. In this video, we will only focus on essential fields. However, it's best practice to provide as many details as you can. If you're not sure what to enter in any field, click the blue question mark, which will give guiding information and suggestions. We'll start with the Why tab. If you created a research data management plan, use the search box to find and link your RDMP to your data record. This will also pre-fill some of the details you need for your data record, including the main field for this tab, the project name. It is best to keep this consistent with the project name as it appears in other identifying documentation and UTS systems like your RDMP. This project name identifies the project as a whole, not the data specifically. If you are an HDR student, tick the box below. The What section has 2 required fields: Data Record Title and Description. Describe the data as precisely as you can in these fields so that you and your colleagues can find and contextualize it easily in the future. The Who section identifies key people who are involved in the project who have ongoing responsibilities for the data. There are 2 required fields: first named Chief Investigator and the Data Manager. These 2 roles must be current UTS staff or students. The first named Chief Investigator is the senior manager with responsibility for the data. If you are an HDR student, your primary supervisor is your first named Chief Investigator. The Data Manager is the person responsible for managing access to the research data for the minimum retention period. The Data Manager may change over time, for example, from an HDR student or a research assistant during the project to the first named Chief Investigator after the project. HDR students creating data records for their research project should enter their own details here. The When section collects retention and disposal information about the data. Minimum retention is the required field that specifies how long the data should be archived for, according to the nature of the data. Research data for a lot of projects must be retained for 5 years, but some must be retained for longer, like clinical trials where the data must be archived for 25 years. A drop-down menu provides some standard options. In this section, you will also identify the earliest disposal date and link journal articles and other publications to the research data. The Where section identifies the location of the research data. You can upload your files with the attachment option. Note that you must first save the data record before you can attach any files. If you have a large data set, for example, if it has more than 50 files or files larger than 1 gigabyte, then it is recommended you request an eResearch Store file shared drive via the Workspace tab in Stash and enter the file path once the data is uploaded to the eResearch Store. If your data, or part thereof, is on Omero or GitLab, choose URL type and enter the address in the location field. You can also use URL references for third-party data provided by trusted institutions like NASA or Geoscience Australia, or data that you have put in trusted repositories like GenBank. Bear in mind that the platform should be trusted enough to be around for the duration of the retention period. If your data is physical materials or is located at a third-party location, choose Physical Type and provide details, including access information in the location field. You must also state the security classification of the data. If you intend on publishing the data, you must select the public classification. If you only intend to publish part of your data, you can nominate those and retain the higher classifications for the others. Once you have saved the data record, return to the Stash dashboard at any time to edit the record or to transfer responsibility of the data record if required. Once you have a data record, you can now create a data publication, which will create a seamless access point for others to discover, view, and, if permitted, access the data with the licensing and citation conditions clearly stated. Not all research data is suitable for publication, such as data that has ethical or commercial sensitivities. Click Create a Data Publication in the Publish and Share module of Stash to begin. You must have a pre-existing data record to create a data publication. Select the data record in the search field by typing its name. This will pre-fill some sections of the form, such as project name and description, and link both records. On this start page, the description will be carried over from the data record. Then, select the data type and keywords. While there are a variety of formats available, in most cases your data, whether physical, digital, or mixed, will be either a data set for structured data that is fairly homogeneous, or a collection, compiled content assembled into a collective whole for research use and/or distribution. Use the help advice via the blue question mark for more information about classifying your data. Press Next to continue to the next section. On the Select Data page, you will be able to provide access information for every data source attached to the data record. For example, whether someone needs to contact the data manager to arrange access, or if they can use a readily available URL. Only data classified as public can be selected. The License section is where you will nominate the appropriate sharing license for your data, alongside copyright information. Creative Commons is a popular license that allows creators to share their work with others on flexible terms without infringing copyright. You will also need to provide information about any other rights or licenses held in and over the data, such as copyright, other licenses, and other intellectual property rights. For example, copyright University of Technology Sydney 2018 or copyright Jane Student 2018. The Citation section highlights the data publication title and the publisher, which will usually be UTS. When you click the Submit for Review button, this collated information will be sent to the eResearch team for review. They will contact you if any further information is required. You will also be able to preview your data record via the URL in the Citation section and make amendments. Published datasets can be accessed via the UTS Research Data Portal. Once your record has been approved, you can share the stable link with others. You can also request to have a DOI minted to reference this publication by contacting eResearch. In this video, we covered how to create a data record in Stash, how to create a data publication in Stash. If you have any questions about using Stash, contact your faculty librarian or the Library Research Data Management team.